Okay, I'm going to make a quick video about this Vanguard 33 bag that I've been carrying, the Alta Rise 33, that I've been carrying now for about 2 years. And I recently replaced it, and I'm just going to compare this one to the one that I just got today because I think the comparison is quite interesting. So let's just go over this particular bag to start with. And I'm in this bag is what I normally carry when I go out for a day's shoot. So we have a zipper pocket on the outside cover that holds various things. In this case, I've got a flash in there. One thing that does is when you carry something bulky inside this outside cover, it extends the width of the bag significantly. So unless you carry something flat in there, then it's going to be more bulky. It also has a zipper pocket on the back side, which is for things that are really flat because there's just not a whole lot of room there. The padding on the inside pushes up against that. It makes it really difficult to get anything bulky in there. Well, that's fine. It's nice to have a bag, a zipper on the outside. It's got a, I don't know what you call this, but you can put it over the handle of your luggage, which is nice. So you don't have to carry the bag in the airport. Put the handle through here and carry it that way. On the top, it has this magnetic zipper protector. I mean, this way you can't open the zipper. You have to move this thing first. I guess that's just some sort of security thing. I don't really know. I have never used it. The zipper opens the bag from the top, and theoretically you can take out things from the inside that you have in here if the things that you have are sufficiently small to get it out through this opening. I have had occasions when the lens and the camera that I have in here is too big to get it out, and then I have to open up the whole bag to lift it out. It also has a carry handle that's sewn on to the outside, and if you notice, the bag wants to fall over. So, and I suppose that's not a terrible thing. But just a data point. It has a metal clasp on the outside for the strap. The strap is very comfortable. The strap is extendable, and I've never had any problem with this. So that's a nice thing. The strap is nice. So opening the bag up, inside is enough for my 70-200 lens with the foot on it. Well, also with the RF extension too, so that makes it quite a bit taller. I can't put the camera body on top of here because it sticks up too high, and I can't close the lid. On the other side we have the camera, and in this case I have the the R5 Mark II with the 10 to 20 millimeter lens on it. I can put the 24 to 105 on it, and it fits in there fine. I can turn it sideways if it's okay that way, but still, there's just really not that much room when you turn the camera sideways like this, you can see there's a little bit more room down in here, but really not a whole lot. That's probably enough to put the flash in there, but then you're dealing with an extra item here when you're trying to take the camera in and out. So I tend to just leave the camera in on one side and one lens on the other side. Now, I also will use a shoulder strap on the camera, and I will keep another lens in here. Now, if I can find that extra piece of padding yes, there it is. So it comes, the bag, the Vanguard sends a few extra of these dividers in there, And they're typical dividers. I got Velcro on both sides, but look how they're very flexible. And obviously they're flexible for a reason, because when you put them in there, you want to be able to maneuver, make the space smaller or larger depending on how you want to divide your case. That's fine. Okay. But putting the divider in on this side makes it too small for the body with the lens. It's fine if I want to put if I want to put two lenses in here. If the lenses will fit, then that's fine. Typically I found that putting two lenses in here isn't really not optimal. They bump against each other. But if I put this in like this, if I put one lens in the bottom, here, I'll just put this other camera. I'll put this camera in at the bottom. Put the R50 in there at the bottom, and then I have this padding that goes over the top. And then if I try to put that in there, obviously it doesn't fit. And it just barely fits if I go that way with it. Okay, fine. So then I pull this camera out, and if I want to get to that thing on the bottom, I have to remove the Velcro. And the Velcro, it gets stuck on the side, and then when I take it out, I have to put it back. And so having the Velcro on both sides like this, really, it's just not very functional to have an extra item in the bag, either at the bottom or on the side. So I typically don't do that, just for ease of use. Then it also has, let's put this back in there. It also has several pockets on the outside, a zipper pocket here, one labeled green, one labeled red, like SD cards that are unused versus SD cards that are used. That's what those labels are for. I typically don't pay any attention to that. I put in there whatever I want. And then it has another pocket here in between, and that pocket has the rain cover. I've never used that. I've never been out in a pouring rain enough to use that. It's good to have that. And then it has two more pockets on the outside with Velcro. So if you close the lid with Velcro, you can close the lid without buckling it. And then it's easy to get it back open again. If you're just walking around using it, it's nice to be able to get in and out of it easily. And so you can put things in these other pockets: batteries, cables, lens wipes, whatever you want. Okay, in this side I have a small flash. I have the small Godox flash here. And so other things will fit in here too, just depending on what you want. Okay, so that's really kind of it. All right, so let's take a look at the one I have, the new one. Okay, see how that bag just wants to flop over? It doesn't want to stand straight up. That makes it cumbersome in some situations. Sometimes you have to find something to lean that bag up against if you don't want it to fall over. Okay, here's the bag that came in the mail today. So it's the Nanuk 15-liter messenger bag. And one of the first things you notice is that it stands up, and it has 3 pockets. So on the outside lid, you have a zipper pocket, very small. You can put, I suppose you could put batteries in there, other kinds of things. So let's just go through this bag and start filling it up. So on the outside, you have a zipper pocket, and you can put things in there. We're going to put some of the flat things in there. We're going to put the cable and a couple of these lens wipes in there. We're going to close that. On the inside, it has three areas to put things into, And one thing you'll notice about the inserts, or the dividers, very interesting. So here is the divider that came with the other bag. Here is the divider that comes with the Nanuk. Notice they're a lot stiffer. This one is just totally flexible in whatever way. These are much more stiff. Now they're not completely stiff. You can fold them if you want, but they hold their shape. They're stiffer. They've got this rotating like hinge on there, and there's a triangular piece that's on the end of each one of these. And so each one of them can be made into a hinge that will open up. Okay? Much, much better than the dividers that come from Vanguard. On the inside of the lid, there is another zipper pocket, and in here I have my AirTag. And on the outside of that pocket is a place to put different items. You can put more than one battery in there. In this case, I was using one of them for the flash. Okay. And here is the extension for the flash, so that fits in there like that. So those are 3 things you can put in there. Other things, obviously, you can put in there as well. SD cards, whatever you want. And so let's put my bigger lens in here. And you can see, I'm not sure you can tell, you can see that this lens fits in there a lot better. Let's go back over to the Vanguard for a moment. So on the Vanguard bag, there's this insert that you can take out. It's a padded insert, and it's what protects your camera gear on the inside of the bag. Oh, there's also a laptop sleeve, I forgot to mention. So this padded sleeve is what protects the camera gear on the inside of the bag. But it also makes the inside space smaller. So things that you want to put in there don't fit quite as well. This lens, it fits okay in that bag, that's fine. But it fits great inside the Nanuk bag. You also notice that the Nanuk bag stands up by itself. It doesn't tip over. And that's because it has molded foam on the all over the bag, on the inside, in between the fabric on the outside. You can see it right here. There's a molded piece of foam on the inside of the bag, and also on the bottom. Also on the bottom, so that it's much firmer here. Much firmer. The other one is just completely flexible. Look, I mean, it's okay. It's got feet on the bottom, which is fine, but they don't. But the feet, all they're doing there is to protect the bottom of the bag. They don't help the bag stay upright. This bag has this molded foam everywhere, and so when you're using it, it stands up. The lid also is it's more structured, and so it's attached to the bag in a different way. It doesn't flop open. It doesn't flop open. It does flop open, but it stays almost horizontal, depending on how much stuff you have in here. It stays almost horizontal, whereas the other bag, when you open that up, you can see that it's a very large pocket, a very large flap, and when you open it up, it just falls down. Especially if you have something zipped into the pocket here, it'll just fall over. And so you've got a lot more to deal with it. When you're carrying it on your shoulder and you want to open it up, you've got to open up the whole thing all the way, and it goes all the way over to the other side, and then you can get into to get out what you need. what you want. So contrast that with the Nanuk bag, in which the lid is substantially shorter, narrower, however you want to call that. It stays horizontal pretty much when you open it. This is the side against your body over here. It's got the padding against your side, and so it opens away from your body. And in this case, I'm putting, here's the rainfly. It comes with a rainfly. You can put this somewhere else. There's a hook. You can attach it to someplace else. I'm just going to put it in the bottom for the moment. I'm going to put my camera on top. Okay. And over on this side, you can see here is the other hinged divider. You see this one, there's two extra ones in addition to the ones that are in the bag right now. As Velcro is just, this Velcro just wants to stick to everything, obviously, that's the point, but still. So you can see that I've got two extra of these dividers. I have 1, 2, 3 dividers in the bag right now. And underneath this one, because it's hinged, it stays in place when I want to remove what's underneath it. The hinged part stays attached, and then I can open it up, and I can put this lens in there. This is the 24-105, and that goes in there. And I can close that hinged part, and I can easily open it up again. Now, it's it's tricky. It's not difficult, but it's tricky to get that material, the Velcro, detached when you want to get in there. But it's got that hinge on there. So when you lift it up, the other piece of Velcro stays in place. Whereas the other one, it's also much more rigid. This is much more rigid. So whatever's underneath there is going to be, it's like a shelf that's sitting on top of whatever's on the bottom of the bag. Whereas this is not a shelf. This just flexes. And because the Velcro is all edge to edge, turn that around so you can see it. Because the Velcro is edge to edge, when you're trying to take this part off, if you use this as a shelf in between two items, top and bottom, when you're trying to take this off, because it goes edge to edge, it ends up getting stuck all over. Like it gets stuck to the left, it gets stuck to the right, it gets stuck to the other side, and so it's much more difficult to remove this than it is if the Velcro is only half the size, half the width. And you've got this nice little tab there to pull it. On this one, there's no extra lip here. There's no, what do you want to call that? So when you're reaching in, this is attached to the side of the bag. And so you have to get your hand down in there, and you've got to detach that somehow. You've got to get your fingers in there, and you got to pull it off. And when you do that, that's fine. But when you do that, it's stuck. If you have it in the tighter space over here on this side, it gets stuck to the sides when you try to pull this out. That doesn't happen with these other dividers. And so in this case, I'm going to put my R50 with the lens attached on the top there. And I can also, if I turn this camera sideways, it fits a little bit better that way. But I can also put my flash down here next to the other lens. So this bag holds two lenses separately, including the 70-200, which is gigantic, the EF 70-200. It holds two camera bodies, with lenses attached, and it holds an additional item in there if you want to force it in there. That's, I'm not sure that I'm going to use that like that, but it does fit. And so, and this bag is padded, so I'm not really too worried about it damaging the lens on the other side. So let's go ahead and close this up. And then the bag is pretty new, so the zippers are not opening as nicely as I would like. And on the other side, on the outside, is the laptop enclosure. And this one holds they say it holds a 13-inch or I'm not sure, I have to go look at the specs. It will definitely hold my 14-inch MacBook Pro though. It's not going to hold the 16-inch, but it will hold the 14-inch, and that's what I needed. So the one downside that I can see so far is that it's got these plastic buckles for the shoulder strap. These are plastic. The shoulder strap hooks are also plastic. They sell a $25 shoulder strap with metal hooks on the outside, but the bag itself has plastic hooks attached, so I'm not sure, is this, which part is going to break first? Which plastic part is going to break first? I don't know. I wish they had included metal attachments, which would be better, but they didn't, and this is what you get. So I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's go ahead and put this around the other way. So there you have it. The Nanuk N-PVD 15 messenger bag. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is that it also has these straps on the outside. I haven't used this bag yet. I've just filled it up. So how do you use this? This is for the tripod. You can put a tripod, you can attach a tripod to your bag using these straps. Or you can put a rain jacket or whatever you want down there. Now, I haven't used this yet, so okay, so this just come off. That comes off. So let's attempt to put this on there. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Let's see here. So we need those straps to be longer, obviously. And that goes on there like that. And then, so, okay, is that optimal? No, it's not. But the other bag doesn't have anything at all for that. There's nothing on here. There's nothing on the Vanguard bag that will let me attach a tripod. It doesn't have any pockets on the side. What it does have, though, is this zipper on the outside that gives the bag a little bit more room. It expands the bag a little bit. The only time I've ever used that expansion is if I'm really jamming the bag full of stuff, which tends to make it heavier. And because the bag tips over, I don't like to carry things in it that are too heavy. So, is this a perfect bag? No, it's not. But it has a lot more. It carries more. And it is roughly the same size as the Vanguard that I've been using. So I am really happy about that. It's not any bigger on the outside, but it's got molded foam on the inside. It stands up by itself, where the other one did not. The Vanguard does not stand up. It has more room inside the bag to hold. It holds more things, and and the things that it does hold are they're not jammed in there. They're accessible. It's not tight to get anything out. And there's no removable foam insert to deal with. Now this is fine. I've actually used this Vanguard bag with the foam insert removed. I haven't carried photographic gear inside here because the padding on the outside of the shell is minimal. It's minimal, and it's also extremely flexible. You see, the whole bag is just flexible. I much prefer the structured manufacturing that they have on the Nanuk bag. This bag is easily twice as expensive. Retails for $220. I'm not sure what the Vanguard retailed for. Probably $100, $120 maybe. Don't remember because I didn't buy it brand new. I've been happy with the Vanguard bag, so I carried it for 2 years, and it looks like I got some pens in there that I'm going to have to take out and put in the other one too. So, have I been happy with it? Yes. I think I'm going to be even happier with this one. And so I just wanted to do this quick video here to show you the difference between the two bags that I have, and hopefully this has been useful to you.